attracting prosperity in just a few months, but I discovered an unexpected secret. My name is Sophia, and at 40 years old, I found myself trapped in a life I never imagined for myself. Every day, I wake up at 5:30 in the morning, still dark outside, to catch the first bus downtown. On the way, I see other people like me, with tired looks, holding their coffees in disposable cups. "Sophia, I need those reports by yesterday," was the phrase I heard most from my boss, Mark. As an administrative assistant, my desk was always covered in papers from other people's problems, while my own were tucked away in a dusty drawer along with the overdue bills. "Another month in the red," I whispered to myself, looking at the negative balance in my banking app, $247 in the negative. My rent for my small apartment was 2 weeks overdue, and Janet, my landlord, wouldn't stop messaging. "Sophia, dear, I know you're responsible, but I need the payment by Friday," her last message said. I took a deep breath, feeling that familiar knot in my throat. On the last Friday of the month, while organizing the office files, I found something that changed everything. It was an old folder, one of those that you keep and forget. Inside, a yellowed piece of paper caught my attention, my college dream list, written nearly 20 years ago. A house with a garden, $5,000 in savings, a trip to Italy, financial freedom by 35. My hands trembled as I read. A tear fell onto the paper when Rachel, my coworker, walked into the room. "Are you okay, Sophia? You look pale," she asked, concerned. "I just found some old papers," I replied, trying to disguise it. "Rachel, have you ever wondered how you got to where you are? How you let your dreams slip through your fingers?" She sat down next to me, adjusting her glasses. "Every single day, dear. But hey, we're still alive, right?" That night, I came home later than usual. The bus was crowded, and I held that old list against my chest as if it were a lost treasure. Upon arriving home, I was met with yet another overdue electricity bill under the door. I sat at my small kitchen table, where breakfast and dinner shared the same space as the bills to pay. I looked at my reflection in the window and barely recognized the woman staring back at me. How did I lose myself so much? I asked out loud to the empty apartment. Where is that girl who wrote this list? Who believed she could conquer the world? Silence was my only answer, broken only by the distant sound of car horns outside and the ticking of the clock on the wall, reminding me that time doesn't stop, no matter how lost we get along the way. In the company break room, during my usual lunch break with my freshly heated meal, something caught my attention. A group of colleagues was animatedly talking in the corner of the room. "Guys, you have no idea. Since I started practicing what the book teaches, things have started to change," said Amanda, one of the financial analysts. "Just yesterday, I visualized a promotion opportunity, and this morning, my boss called me in for a chat about a new position." "What book is that?" Michael asked while stirring his coffee. "Think and Grow Rich." It sounds like basic self-help, but there's something different about it. It talks about the law of attraction and how our thoughts literally create our reality, Amanda replied, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Normally, I would ignore this kind of conversation. But something in that moment, maybe the financial desperation, maybe the found dream list, made me pay attention. "Amanda," I called timidly, "where did you get that book?" She smiled, genuinely happy for my interest. "I'll send you the link to the audiobook I use. It's more convenient to listen to on the bus." That night, lying in my bed with borrowed headphones from my niece, I dove into the first pages of the book. The words seemed to speak directly to me, "Your thoughts become things." I grabbed an old notebook, one of those you buy and never use. With my hands trembling slightly, I wrote, I want to have $50,000 in my account in 6 months. It felt crazy. Impossible. But something inside me stirred. And what if? I whispered to myself, what if this really works? I spent the night researching online. I found dozens of stories of ordinary people who changed their lives using the law of attraction. A woman from California moved from a trailer to a house in 8 months. A university professor doubled his salary in a year. Okay, universe, I said out loud, feeling a bit silly, let's make a deal. I'll give this a chance. I created a simple ritual. Every morning, before leaving for work, I would close my eyes for 5 minutes and visualize my bank account with $50,000. At night, I would write down 3 things I was grateful for, even if they were small, like, the bus was on time today, or, I managed to pay the electricity bill. It felt strange at first, like learning a new language. But there was something comforting about having a plan, even if it seemed based on something as intangible as thoughts and visualizations. 3 weeks passed since I started my visualizations. Every morning, religiously, I closed my eyes and imagined that bank balance, $50,000. But with every overdue bill notification, with every insufficient funds, a voice inside me grew louder. Who do you think you are? It asked as I looked at my reflection in the bathroom mirror at work. Do you really think sitting and thinking about money will solve your problems? During lunch with my best friend Diana, I decided to share what I was doing. Dee, have you ever heard of the law of attraction? She stopped her fork mid-air and looked at me with a mix of pity and concern. Ah no, did you fall for that too? Please tell me you're not spending money on a coach or online courses. No, nothing like that, I replied defensively. I'm just doing some visualizations and… Sophia, for God's sake. She interrupted me. Do you think the universe is going to magically deposit money in your account? Wake up to reality. What you need is to look for a better job, work overtime. Her words hit me like a punch to the stomach. I went home that day feeling like a complete idiot. That night, sitting on the edge of the bed, I picked up the notebook where I wrote down my goals and gratitudes. The pages seemed to mock me. Who was I trying to fool? People like me don't get rich. People like me work until they die. Mom, are you okay? My 12-year-old daughter asked from the door of my room. I'm fine, sweetie. Just tired. You look sad. Is it because of that notebook you always write in before bed? I sighed. Sometimes we try something new, and it feels like everyone wants to say it won't work. She sat down next to me. You know what you always tell me when I want to quit ballet? That the most important things in life are the hardest. Those words, coming from my own daughter, made me swallow hard. It was true. How many times had I encouraged her to persist in her dreams while I was about to give up on mine? What if I'm wasting my time? I murmured. What if you're not? She simply replied. A medium coffee with milk, please, I asked while looking for some coins at the bottom of my bag. It was my little luxury on Mondays, a decent coffee before work. That'll be $4. $50, said the cashier. While I waited for my order, I noticed a woman in her mid-40s organizing some papers at a nearby table. Something about her caught my attention, maybe her confident posture or the serene smile while she worked. Can I sit here? I asked, pointing to the only available table next to her. Sure. She replied enthusiastically. I'm Carla. I'm preparing materials for my workshop tonight. Curious, I took a look at the papers. Practical financial manifestation, I read aloud. Exactly. Her eyes lit up. You know, a lot of people think manifestation is just sitting and visualizing money falling from the sky. But it's not quite like that. How so? I asked, suddenly interested. I just started practicing visualization. What a coincidence. Carla smiled. Let me tell you a secret, 90% of people give up because they think it's just about visualizing. But prosperity is like a little plant, it needs water every day, it needs sunlight, nutrients. Taking a napkin, she drew a circle. Here, look. Manifestation has 3 pillars: clear intention, consistent action, and active gratitude. You need all 3. But what do you mean by consistent action? I questioned. For example, you want to increase your income. Great. Besides visualizing, how about starting a side job? Nowadays, there are many online freelance platforms. Do you have any specific skills? Well, I've always been good with writing. I replied hesitantly. Perfect. Start there. Write for blogs, do proofreading. And more importantly, control your spending. Download a finance app. Write everything down. I spent the next hour absorbing every word from Carla. She explained to me about creating a healthy financial routine, the importance of studying investments, how small daily changes can create big transformations. Are you going to the workshop tonight? I asked hopefully. Better, I'll give you access to my online study group. No cost. Something tells me you're really ready for this change. I left that cafe feeling different. For the first time, I felt like I had a concrete plan. It was no longer just about visualizing, it was about acting, learning, and growing consistently. The first signs of change appeared subtly. After a month of following Carla's advice, I opened my finance app and almost fell off my chair. I had managed to save $300. Mom, are you okay? My daughter asked when she saw me standing, staring intently at my phone. Better than okay, sweetie. For the first time in years, I managed to save something. The next month, my freelance writing started to get attention. One client praised my work so much that he referred me to other projects. Sophia, said Tom, a businessman who had hired my services, I loved how you organized the website's content. I have a proposal. I need someone to handle all the company's communication. Interested? My heart raced. Of course. Can we talk about the details? After that meeting, I sat in a cafe and cried. Not out of sadness, but gratitude. In 3 months, I had saved $1,000, something that had once seemed impossible. Passing by the mall on my way home, I stopped in front of that familiar window. The blue dress I had admired for months was still there. Can I help you? The salesperson asked. Actually, you can. I want to try on that dress. When I looked at myself in the fitting room mirror, I didn't just see a pretty dress. I saw a different woman. More confident. Stronger. I'll take it, I said, feeling a mix of pride and accomplishment. At home, Diana, my skeptical friend, noticed the change. There's something different about you, she commented during our weekly video call. Yeah, a lot has changed. Remember when you said I was dreaming too big? I'm sorry for that, she replied, genuinely regretful. You don't need to apologize. Your doubts were the same as mine. But I learned that I deserve more. And you know what's amazing? It's not just about money. It's about believing in myself. That night, writing in my gratitude journal, I realized that the true transformation was happening within me. Money was just an external reflection of a much deeper change. Dear Universe, I wrote, thank you for showing me that I am capable. And this is just the beginning. After 6 months, on an ordinary Tuesday, the bank notification arrived. I opened the app and had to sit down, $65,432. 18, there it was, in numbers, proof that I had made it. I did it. I shouted alone in the office. My hands were shaking. I immediately called Carla. Carla, you won't believe it. Remember the goal we set? I surpassed it. I knew you could do it, she replied calmly. But tell me one thing, how are you feeling? The question caught me off guard. How was I feeling? Rich? Fulfilled? I don't know, I confessed. I should be jumping for joy, but... Something is missing, I whispered. That night, I couldn't sleep. I went for a walk on the beach, something I had done since I was a teenager when I needed to think. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange. I sat on the sand and closed my eyes. Suddenly, a memory hit me like a wave, me at 18, telling my mom about my dream of creating a project to help women who were going through the same struggles we did. Mom, one day I will create a place where women can start over, I had said. Where they can learn a profession, regain their self-esteem. And what happened to that girl? I asked myself aloud. I picked up my phone and called my daughter. Hi, Mom. How are you? Sweetheart, remember when you asked me why I wanted so much money? Yes. I think I finally understood. It wasn't just about the money. It was about what I could do with it. Tears streamed down my face as the words flowed out. You know that abandoned building near our house? The one we always pass? I just had an idea. The next day, I scheduled a meeting with Tom, my client who had become a friend. An NGO? He asked, intrigued. Yes. To empower women professionally. I have the initial funding, but I need partners. Count me in, he smiled. I've always wanted to do something like this, I just needed someone with the right vision. I left that meeting understanding that the universe hadn't just given me money, it had returned my purpose. True abundance wasn't in the numbers in my account, but in the power to transform other lives. The money was just the beginning. The true manifestation was much greater than that. A year has passed since that sunset on the beach. Today, sitting in the office of our NGO, Rikamikos, I flipped through my old manifestation notebook. Sophia, the documents for the new class have arrived. Anna, our coordinator, enters with a smile. How many applicants this time? I ask, already knowing that the answer would move me. 50 women. And there's a story you need to hear. Anna tells me about Maria, one of the candidates. She had lost everything in a difficult divorce, just like I did years ago. Her words take me back to the beginning of my own story. You know, Anna, I say, holding the notebook, sometimes I find myself thinking about how it all started. I thought I just wanted money, but the universe had bigger plans. At that moment, one of our students, Paula, knocks on the door. Her eyes shine with excitement. Sophia. I got the job. That interview you helped me prepare for, they hired me. I stand up to hug her, remembering when I doubted my own potential. You deserve it, Paula. You've always deserved it. After she leaves, I grab my current journal and start writing, Dear Universe, today I understand that manifesting is not about magic, it's about transformation. Every dollar in my account came with a lesson. Every victory taught me about my own strength. Yes, I have a stable financial life. Yes, I can buy what I need. But my true wealth? It's the smiles of the women who come through here. It's seeing their lives change, just as mine has changed. Real prosperity isn't in the bank, it's in the sparkle in the eyes of those who rediscover their worth. My phone rings. It's Carla. So, how's life as a mentor? I laugh. Who would have thought, right? From desperate for money to realizing dreams. I always knew you'd get here. You just needed to believe in yourself. I look out the window. The sun is setting, just like that day on the beach. But now, instead of emptiness, I feel fullness. To you, who are reading this now, your transformation is also possible. No matter where you are, what matters is where you want to go. The universe doesn't just give you what you ask for, it gives you what you need to become who you were meant to be. So, are you ready to start your transformation story? Because, believe me, just as I discovered, you will also realize that your power to manifest goes far beyond money. It reaches your true purpose. The blank page of your life is waiting. What will you write on it? If this story touched you in any way, don't forget to like it to help more people find this inspiring content. Write in the comments, I believe in my potential, and share how you plan to transform your life. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss stories that could be the first step towards your change. Your transformation starts now, and we are here to walk together in this process. Until the next video.